911. Yep. Councilman Gary, would you call 911? You can find the address on the front there. We need to call 911. AED, Councilman Burke, would you take care of our AED? And if we have an evacuation, see if we can all try to meet the council, meet over at the stop sign over here across the street over, what is that? That's not the Zoom. Is it Zoom?
Oh, which
Is it Zoom? Yeah.
Rehabilitation. Yeah.
CPR chief, Joe, would you take care of that, please? Man, I promise you, I'm going to get my certification back. I promise you. Safety minute. Anybody have a safety minute? I'll go ahead and take it. Man, it's hot. I had 2 guys fall out last week. 2 guys fall out. It's hot out there, so try not to be in the sun too much, especially in the afternoon between the hours of 2 and 4. It's horrendous. So stay hydrated, stay hydrated. With that, we'll go ahead and review our mission, and this is what we are set to. This is our marching orders, if you will. The mayor and the city council envision a friendly town on Lavaca Bay where economic and recreational opportunities abound, providing for a wonderful quality of life for both the citizens and tourists, rich in history and looking towards a vibrant future. So how are we going to meet that? We meet that with our mission, and our mission is to make Port Lavaca a desirable place to live through high quality services, responsible use for public resources, and a progressive approach to community development. With enthusiasm, integrity, and vision, we'll maintain a safe environment and continually improve the quality of life for all citizens. We have, before we do presentation, we don't have any presentation on this one right here. So do we have any public comments?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
You want me to call 911?
Yeah, if we have to call 911, the address is up here, Councilman Gary.
Yeah.
Oh, Siri, if we have to, you are the guy, right? We don't want to have the standby effect where everybody thinks somebody called 911 and nobody called 911. And that's happened numerous times, especially in New York City. It happens all the time.
Okay.
All right, so you're the guy. No public comment. Action item number 1. Oh, we do have a. Okay. I'm not even ready for that. Okay. All right. We do have a public comment from Kevin Hermes. Kevin?
Yes, sir.
All right, you got 3 minutes. All right.
I'm sorry, I'm not really prepared. I just got informed yesterday if I could come up here at 1 o'clock today. My concern is to the new bar, Rooster's Bar that opened up on it's on Broadway, but I live right next. I have some property right next to it. Sam and Michelle Sparks are living right next to it, and they're really concerned about the shooting that just happened. We're concerned about the noise, the trash, the parking. Everything in general, because we've had to call the cops. They pull into my parking spot. They leave trash every day. Quite often, most of the time on Friday and Saturday night in my yard, and just the noise. And then the shooting is really concerned because we live right there.
Are you like right next door, right across the street, or what?
No, right next door. I have a garage apartment that is right next door to it, which my renter moved out because it said it was too noisy. So. And then I got a rent house right next to it, and I live right there on the water side. And then Sam and Michelle live right there on the fence line of the parking. So they couldn't make it today. I think her dad was somewhere. So I was just here to voice our concern of what we could do about the bar with the noise, with the now that the shooting happened, very concerned about our safety. Being right next to the house and everything else. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Hermes, for your concern. I'm going to break a rule. It has been area of a discussion, just so you know, and we're still discussing. We will get back with you on that, okay?
Okay, but I appreciate it. I'm sorry I got a late notice. I got told 7 o'clock last night if I could be here at 1.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir.
Any other public comments? All right, with that, we'll go action item number 1. Consider the proposed scope of the slope repair on 110, 114 Harbor Drive West and authorize construction and engineering contracts for the work. Wayne?
Mayor Council, the project at Harbor Drive is ongoing, and we have reached out to several agencies for quotes to complete the repair of the filling of the void, repair the slope.
Yeah, and just to interject to clarify, the pipe has been repaired. It has been slip line. That project is done. So we're now, final, yes.
This project. However, unfortunately, only one of those companies bid on it. The other 3 did not bid due to other work conflicts and liability issues. So the proposal for the only bid to come in, complete this job was $74,442.71, which is an overage of, I think we had 23,000 left over.
We had 23, we were assuming about 23,000 to do this. Obviously we were way off.
In your little memo packet here is a project overview and execution plan. If I've looked over the engineering requirement, civil floors looked over, and we feel it's good to go. We just need to seek your approval on the cost to do this project and the budget amendment that will follow.
And is this gonna stop the sloping into the,
Yeah, that's already stopped. The repairing of the pipe stops that from.
Yeah,
and the repairing the pipes was when? Because
that
I
was,
get texts all the time about this.
This
When was that?
done last week.
Last week.
and so the whole, I mean, you know, you think back, the reason why it all started was because the root ball of the palm tree opened up a hole in the pipe and allowed a way for all this soil to migrate down and have an escape route, so to speak, out to the channel. That escape route basically was plugged up, sealed up completely with the repair of the pipes. And so now the retaining wall is what holds the slope up. But there obviously this, through the last years, there's been some voids created in that bank that went out, allowed the soil to escape through this hole in this pipe that is now sealed. So the idea is you've got to go back per the engineering report and using flowable fill to fill up some of those voids and to go in there and, expose up to 2 foot deep, I think it is, and do some compaction and re-establish this.
Wayne, could you clarify a little bit on that note? I mean, it's just glaring. Doesn't include the fence, personal belongings of the carport removal. How much are we looking at there?
That I don't know. That's they had it in their original bid.
Yeah, no. I mean, you want to explain where the carport is?
Okay, so it's not really a carport, it's more of a lean-to between buildings.
Little shed.
Top of
Like a shed, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shed.
But it was built over the easement.
But it's connected to both properties on both houses.
Yes.
If that were to be removed, we would put it back
No,
over top of the easement.
it was never permitted to be built in the first place. And so
And there's an easement there for to
Utility.
allow us, right, for
Yeah.
the city, right, to 5 feet, 5 feet, or 6 feet, 6 feet.
I think it's either a 10 or 15 foot utilities. But bottom line, I think, and that's where remember in my email to y'all Friday, I'm still trying to get some
Yeah.
getting some clarification. That was one of the things that, because yeah, they wanted, it was like $40,000 to remove or replace that lean-to. I said, we're not doing that. But to verify that they can access the site the way we did originally, which was through the park, and not have to necessarily remove that. Too.
We spent a lot of money on that project, way more than what we need to be. Is there any options as far as, her claiming insurance or anything like that?
She can't claim insurance.
Okay,
She can't. She tried.
well, we gotta come to some kind of a cap. We can't just keep going and going and going, but it seems like we're always getting surprises, you know? Every time something comes up, more money, more money, more money. We're spending a lot of money there.
Well, let me ask you this, now that we're at a stable state, right? We fixed the leak, the original problem. I don't really see the time pressure as urgent as it was. Can we put this back out for bid? See if more people come available to maybe give us a cheaper price?
I mean, that's this body's decision. If that's what you want to do, then we'll do it. Just to be known that this problem's not gonna go away.
It's not going.
The more activity we do on it, the worse it looks on us.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying never fix it. I'm just saying
The more we.
it would be better to use our tax money, you know, our citizens' tax money more responsibly. You know, just having one bid's kind of tough to, you don't have nothing compared to.
You had 4, but 3 of them were no bid due to liability.
Right.
So you had one.
Okay.
You
Because
had one.
it's, so it's, if y'all hadn't been
And it's
back
on,
there.
and it's on private property.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Were there was no bids, were they local?
Yes.
What about getting somebody that's not local? You know, out of Victoria or something?
We can reach out and do that. I'm making the same.
And if we want,
Recommendation that we.
yeah, if we want to do that, I mean, to save some time. I mean, to your point, bottom line, the homeowners wouldn't agree with that statement. But, you know, if we can get approval to, as Daniel said, a not to exceed amount, and then if we can, you know, identify another bidder that would do something less, I mean, we can certainly still try. Again, Wayne's been reaching out to contractors, and it's not an easy project, and it's not one that they're all excited to go do. Bottom line.
I mean, it's just tough. to
And
sign
again,
off
it
on
needs to be something
You're like-
with some technical expertise.
Yes.
I mean, in addition to this, which I put it in the memo also is, you know, we're probably looking, I mean, I would think at most 8 to 10,000 to have Civil Corps on site during it to make sure it's being done right, or they will be, you know, complaining that it's shoddy workmanship.
Is this, what fund is this coming out of?
It would be come out of general fund reserves, yeah.
Fund?
The problem is, it's according to the owners, this has been going on for years and years and years. Nothing's been done about it as far as.
Yeah,
the city. I
yeah,
don't
but
know
I
if
mean,
it's
we can go
something
back to,
else.
you know, what was the initial problem, and
Are y'all still in the meeting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the main problem's fixed. Now you just got, you know, the preparation part of it.
Go look at that yard.
No, but you know why it was sloping in though, right?
Right.
Because of that leak.
Yes.
Yeah, the yard is literally going into that.
But,
harbor.
It's not. No, it's stopped.
But I know, but
glad you can
but
make.
I know.
Justin, the only thing, because I've had that same,
Yeah.
the only thing is, I mean, we have plugged up the ultimate escape route, for better lack of better word, back to the bay or to the channel. But there are these, you know, fissures or, you know, places that have been established. Those can still settle. And so can still shift things. It's not going to go all the way out. It's not going to be a dramatic shifting or subsidence like it was. But there can still be some until we either compact that soil or fill these, you know, fissures, openings that have established where the soil's been traveling out
So that would cost more money to fix.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, well,
In previous communications, we had the boring report that the engineers did
Hmm.
that showed the voids, the soft spots, like that. That's what the flowable fill is going to fill up. Those voids are still there. And there's potential that they could have grown more before we had the pipe repair. So there is some criticality in getting this done as soon as possible. I understand that it's tough to award this because we only have one number bid. So it's a problem that we need to solve in an efficient and expeditious way as possible.
That'd have to be paid in one lump sum once it's done, or was it in payment? Or that's 74,000
It'll become due when they're complete.
when they're done.
It's a lump sum payment when they complete the job.
Wow.
right.
Mucho dinero.
Is it getting worse with each, like, we had some pretty good rains here lately?
I mean, again, the hole was plugged right after all that rain, or right about, yeah. So I don't think we've had a whole lot of rain since that's been repaired, but
But it's,
that's not gonna,
if it does rain like that again, it's gonna get worse.
yes.
Okay.
I
All right, I
will
give
say,
up. All right, y'all beat me down.
Yes.
walked in with the contractor the other day, we were flushing hydrants all throughout the subdivision. And you can see the flow going out into the channel now from that drainage pipe where you couldn't before. So
Well, I agree. It needs to be done.
It's gotta be done.
We need to find a cap. You know, once we spend this money right here, you know, we don't need to be moving anymore. You know, that's just a lot of money.
Have y'all considered getting a release from her prior to, I mean, my concern is this is gonna be an ever,
That's a good idea. Yeah, cause it,
but I don't think she'll sign one.
yeah.
I don't think so either. That's a great recommendation. Just based on that legal comment, you think we can draw up a document saying, this is what we've got. Will you abide by this and this is it? Yeah. Counselor, you think you draw up a
I mean,
document
I
like
could
that?
draw something up.
Yeah.
Whether.
We're not gonna know precisely what this contract is, because this isn't a lump sum. A lot of it is, but not entirely. This is based on 8 cubic yards of flowable fill.
Well, we're not talking to her. We're not talking to the owner about the cost to us or anything like that. We're talking to her about, this is it. There is no more. This is the end of our work.
I mean, once we,
Because she's made the claim that,
there's like $6,000 worth of damage done for the foundation.
Yeah.
foundation.
And the fence,
Yeah.
the fence and all that.
Fence, fence is not included in this because again, for the contractor to do is gonna cost a lot of money. I would, if in fact we wanted to deal with the fence, I mean, I'm sure we can get
Yeah.
a lot less expensively
The
than.
concern that I've had all along, which I realized, support you 100% on this whole situation. But the initial cause
Yes.
Yeah,
was the owner.
Yeah.
well,
Palm tree, right?
but the owner,
You know that. Palm tree ain't the owner now.
I hate palm trees, you know that, right?
Yeah.
but the
So-
owner of the palm tree is the neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't even the name.
That's where I'm saying, like, in discussing this with any of them to settle this,
Yeah.
to me,
They sold
that has to be part of the equation that, we have paid a ton of money to get this far, but we think we should stop and anything else will be on y'all based on the fact that this was.
Yeah, it's not like we're not making an effort, you
I
know?
mean, and this will repair or restore the backyard and the slope. I mean, you can see in this cost is, nearly $15,000 worth of sod.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. But again, it does not include specifically, there's no money in here yet for the fencing. So if, you know, what I was thinking, if we wanted to do this, we go ahead and authorize this. And then that extra 23,000 that we had left in what we had approved before, that can go towards the engineering costs, which like I said, I cannot see that going over $10,000 at most. And then that gives us some money to, you know,
Then I can bring in a local private contractor.
to mess with
The fencing and much better product for these guys work.
We have a recommendation from staff, city, with a recommendation to go with this, approve the 74,000 contingent that the owner will, both owners, correct, 110 and 114, that both owners will abide by what we proposed here, which is pretty much at the end, along with the fence that will come at a later time.
We recommend some contractor we get on that way we can be in, out, finish with this project.
Correct.
Because I still got to put the fence back up at Butterfly Park, just this project.
Council, say you?
Can we so move that one? Just the way you said it, accept the proposal, I make a motion, to accept the proposal with added language of Anne Marie.
So we have a motion on the floor,
Yes.
and we have a second by Councilman Bland Stewart. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously with all present. All right, second item is consider the conceptual plan draft for the proposed development of the Reagan Building, Fay Bauer Sterling Park Alley and surrounding area prepared by Fisher Tech Architects. City manager.
Okay, I'm bringing this. Again, it's a draft. It's still a work in progress. As you recall, we had budgeted $100,000 in the current budget, and it had been earmarked for the train depot. Well, then when the Reagan Building came up, and we obviously the whole inside has basically been gutted because the second floor had fallen into the first floor. And then when we had those strong winds last, when was it, October, I think, part of the roof structure then fell in totally in down to the floor level. We haven't done anything with it since then. We just didn't want to touch anything anymore until we figure out for sure what we wanted to do.
And for new council members, if I can interrupt, this property was donated to us.
Yeah,
Okay.
donated to us by generating. Yeah. And so we got some proposals. Well, we went out, we had an engineer prepare some plans to what would it take to stabilize the building so it doesn't fall down until we figure out what we're going to do. And that is in the range of 100,000. We've got a few bids, and it depends on whether the design involves metal rods that you can either rent or you can purchase. And we've got bids that we can rent them for a year, and the bid is just a hair under. But then if we go over a year, the monthly rental is going to push it over 100. If we purchase them, then we start out just a little bit over 100. But then of course, we'll have them, and then whenever we're done with them, we could resell them to somebody else. Although we're still working on some bidding, we still may be able to come up with a proposal where we are purchasing them and it's under 100,000. But we're not there yet. Bottom line, I wanted to give you all a vision of kind of the vision that Tim and I have been working on this project, just to see the potential of what this area could be, and then, decide.
Are you on a certain page? We're on a certain page.
Right now, I'm still just talking.
Oh, okay.
Beginning, but and then we can decide, to move forward with using this 100,000 for this project or not. So the first page is just, a photograph of what it currently looks like. The Reagan building is what you see right here that has WP Reagan Dry Goods, on the side. This was taken probably 3 years ago or so. It looks a little different now because the whole front, bottom portion, first floor portion has been removed, gutted. The second page basically just describes what the architect is looking at, some of the goals, and even trying to put a conceptual master plan together for what this area could look like. If we look under proposed amenities, we see that the building, which is the Reagan building, this is the thought process, that it would be structurally stabilized and preserve the existing open air structure. We look at installing large overhead fans to improve comfort during warm weather, incorporate lighting for day and evening use, possibly add new overhead garage style doors to improve flexibility for events and programming, essentially trying to make it something that complements Bay Bauer Sterling Park and the whole area, including the alley and ultimately the linear park that we're looking at by the depot. Restore and preserve the existing mural as a community focal point and repoint, this is critical, repoint and repair the existing brick masonry to extend the life of the structure, because that's going to need to be done if we're restoring this or keeping this building. There's several elements in here that they are looking at as being part of this space. So they provided us 2 concepts to look at today. And actually, Tim and I met with them about 3 weeks ago, and they had a few concepts that we kind of gave our thoughts on. And from those thoughts, they come up with these 2 concepts. So the areas that we're looking at, if you look at the sheet that says concept 1, item 1 or key 1, that is the Reagan building. Okay. And then the areas where you see key 2 and 3, that is existing Faye Bauer Sterling Park. 11 is the alley. And so the thought process is that at some point in the future, the alley could be improved to be like a bricked pavement that would complement the Faye Bauer Sterling Park. The area behind here that's labeled 12, this is property the city does not currently own, but it feasibly could be something the city could look at in the future, because that land right behind it, there's no number or anything to it now, but that's the railroad right of way. That's a portion of what we're looking at purchasing that would become a linear park all the way from Commerce Street, eventually, all the way to Halfley, but for sure from Commerce to Virginia Street. And so this, just thinking ahead and envisioning how this could all work together in this public space. So in this concept, they would, again, the Reagan building would be an open air structure. They're showing like a couple overhead doors that would lead out into what is currently Faye Bauer Sterling Park. 2, they're showing that would be a shaded area or some kind of pergola type roof structure that provides some shade within the park. All 4, that is synthetic lawn, so we don't have to mow it. 3, they're showing a little a stage with a screen, something that we could have small venues or acoustic guitar evenings or small movie showings, video showings, that sort of thing. 5 is the existing gazebo that would remain where it's at. 6, there's a little plaza area that would be behind the Reagan building that then leads to 2 areas that would be restrooms for this park area. Really, public restrooms is a key component of this public space. There's more shaded synthetic lawn in the back. They're showing a potential little community garden or something with, native plants to showcase. I mean, it could be an area of impermeable pavement, a rain garden, something, something like that. Then they've got some bike racks, again, bricking the pedestrian alley. And then this area, to the north here, identifying it as, a food truck court with shaded seating.
Whose property is that?
Currently, I believe Melcher owns that.
He owns that whole backside.
Yeah. And again, that's not something we're owning, but it would be nice to vision to somehow connect Main Street to this linear park, through, property, if it could be acquired. Concept two, is similar. It's a little different in that, let's see, we go down to 3, 4, 8. They've got the restrooms, situated a little differently. And this one incorporates a playground. I think Tim and I we weren't really sure whether this was, I don't think neither one of us had ever envisioned a playground here. But their Fisher Heck's comments was that, if in fact you had some kind of, venue going on, like acoustic guitar, or some kind of just public gathering, and you want to bring the kids, but the kids are going to get bored, let them go play on a small little playground. So they put this as an option if we were interested. And again, this isn't anything that we're proposing to do tomorrow. The objective is to help council vision what it could be, to the point to decide, is it worth beginning an investment on something like this by investing in the Reagan building? Because that would be the first step. Of course, they've got a community garden in this one also, the brick pedestrian alley, and then again, food trucks and shaded seating on the other side. So it's not like we're looking necessarily in one over the other. I mean, I would welcome any feedback into things that you like or absolutely hate, but then is this, are we open? Do we want to go ahead and try to spend this 100,000 to stabilize the building? Do we want to stabilize this building? If we do that, then my thought process was we will have this conceptual plan. With this conceptual plan, that's what we will use to solicit funding from private foundations, some other grant sources, other businesses in the community, to try to raise money to do the repairs needed to the Reagan building. And then ultimately, I mean, all this stuff, I mean, Parks and Wildlife funding is available, or they're eligible. Let me put it that way. We're eligible for Parks and Wildlife funding for something like this. This is also eligible down the road to use TERS money to do this as well. Again, this isn't something we're saying we're going to do next year. It's not. But we can't, if this is the direction we want to go, the very first step is stabilizing that building so it doesn't fall down on us and cause more damage. Because if we don't want to do this, then we need to plan on and figure out what it's going to cost to demolish it, which that's not going to be cheap either, because it adjoins and it is part of the neighboring building, which is C's Antiques, or that building it was built as one building, but two parts, but it's one structure. And so we have to be very careful, if demolishing half of it, we don't damage the other half. And the one wall that's always been an interior wall will become an exterior wall. we've got to look at that and the structural ramifications of that.
That building is empty now, right?
Well, I mean, it's not being used.
It's not empty.
It's not empty, correct? Yeah. It's
So,
just-
so the way I understand it, we got to get some bars to stabilize the Reagan building, right? Which is like $100,000. But we can still sell them when we're done if we
Yes.
fix the building, right?
Yes, that's my recommendation. And because when we first went out for bids, what we got back, and we didn't get that many, but it was to rent them, because at the time we were thinking, well, we just need to stabilize it for a little bit, and then we're gonna, maybe get a grant or whatever. Oh, that's gonna take a lot longer. So the idea is we need to stabilize it, and it's probably, most likely it will be more than a year, maybe two or 3 years. I don't know.
Well,
So if it's something that we own.
Yeah.
We own it, then we're not being, we're not on a timeline for that.
Mhm.
And then, yes, once we're done, there'll be things that we could sell back to somebody else that might need them.
I mean, I like that.
The wall is still standing, so what's holding it up now? Something's holding it up.
Well, I mean, it's on its, right, it's not,
I mean, I looked at it the other day.
it up is the brick itself. It's the width of the brick.
It's gotta be more than that. You got some bars across from building and building that some,
Not there. The only thing, the roof structure and part of it is still there. So the roof is providing a little bit of
yes,
support at the roof,
right.
but,
On the backside,
huh?
there's nothing supporting the wall in the center to
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, there's
No,
some runs going across there. There's something going run across.
all that's collapsing.
All that debris that's hanging from the top there, what's holding that debris up there? There's a bunch of it hanging there.
It's just hanging, it's just leaning against the wall.
No, it's not. It's right in the middle of
The
it.
roof that collapsed.
I know, but the roof is still there. It's on top of those beams going across.
Business is still there. The front part of it is
I
gone.
went by there the other day. There's a bunch of debris hanging there from a bar that's going across from one side to the
That
other.
was the remaining part of the roof that collapsed. It's just leaning.
That's
what's
why
holding that.
That's why we did not remove the roof structure for that very reason. Something needs to hold this thing together.
That's
If I
right.
took the roof out, who knows what was going to
It could fall down any day.
The roof is still there, but after we had those winds back in last October, about at least a third of that roof just fell to the first floor. It's not, and we haven't touched it. It's just there.
And also the front of the store, is that gonna stay? I mean, that thing's in bad shape. You can look through the cracks from one side to the other. It's not like just a superficial crack. It's a crack all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, again, we'd be stabilizing it, but in the plans to restore it, that would be taken into consideration. In talking with them,
Is that included in the 100,000?
no,
That's just to
this is
stabilize.
just to stabilize it.
That's,
I don't know, we don't know what it's gonna cost to actually do anything yet.
Yeah.
You know,
unfortunately.
How much
Yeah.
does it cost to demolish it?
I mean, I don't know, Derek, you got an idea? I would think that 100,000 would go,
More than that.
I mean, at least go towards demolishing it, because it would be, the things I don't know is, like I said, that one, what has always been since 1904, an interior wall will become an exterior wall. And so there may need to be some structural, we'll have to have a structural engineer look at that and see what we need to do to that wall, because it will now have to withstand wind load directly, as opposed to being an interior wall before.
Well, that wall right there's gotta be held from beams from that wall to the other side of the building. It's not like, it's not like if you take that one side off, it's gonna fall over. I wouldn't think so. I mean, whoever's holding that wall up, it wasn't because of the roof that was there. It's been held from this side to this side. There's gotta be some support up there. So I don't think it's gonna just fall over. What I'm getting to is, we're paying these engineers all this money.
Like this.
We're paying, them engineers are not cheap. They charge a lot of money, and then we get their price and we pay them, and then nothing gets done and we're stuck again. I say we put this project on hold until we can have some kind of account somewhere where we have some money where we can use that money especially for that instead of always getting out of general fund or whatever fund they're gonna get.
Well, what's gonna be in this building? I see where it says program
Yeah.
activities, but what are we putting in a stage or what are we putting inside this?
Right now, it's,
In the
the
future.
concept would be just an open air to where you could have, you could have, tables. It could be used for a wedding. It could be used for.
But it's not gonna be air conditioned.
It's not gonna be, it's not gonna be an enclosed building. It's an outside venue, for an outside venue.
I think it's a good concept, but again, we're spending a lot of money right now that, I think it can wait.
Can this be a workshop then, Jody? And we can really get
Well,
to the detail of it, like, because I really don't like community garden right there. I think that's kind of crazy.
this is draft. That's.
No, but-
Cool. That is, and again, actually doing this is down the road, but yes. The idea.
Question is stabilization or no stabilization?
Moving on this agenda item, are we going to stabilize or not?
Yeah.
I mean, I've written it to where you can give me authorization now, because I can't go spend $100,000.
Okay, so I make a motion to stabilize it.
Yeah, motion on the floor, stabilizing to the tune of approximately $110,000. Right, motion dies. Next item, we want to adjourn?
His idea about putting on a workshop was great. This way we can go look at it again and we can.
We're doing a workshop right now.
Bring it back, just because the motion workshop, we can bring it back another
That's
time.
what we need to do.
Sure. Maybe we just get Tim, that's been involved in the project. We can bring Tim back on it a little later. And then maybe he can get us more up to speed. Maybe he's got more information than our city manager.
And do you have something to say?
Yes, I just want to interject here that this is a safety issue. If we don't stabilize this wall, I'm going to fence Faybar Sterling Park in because it's unsafe for people to be in it. That wall is bulging at the center.
It should have been barricaded a long time ago. It's been unsafe for a long time. Yeah, well, it needs to be put back up. Yeah, it needs to be put back up.
We can bring this agenda back on July 13th,
But
guys.
I do agree that it's a safety issue.
All right, with that, we'll adjourn our special meeting. At time, we got 1:44. At 1:44, we'll adjourn that meeting. We'll now move into our city council workshop. Any public comments? With that, we'll call the meeting to order for our workshop. Items for discussion. Review and discuss the proposed capital improvement plan and other plans for the 2026-2027 fiscal year budget. Ms. Hogan?
Mayor and council. I just want to let you guys know that the PowerPoint that I will be showing should be on the Chromebooks as well, if you want to see it bigger in person.
But it's on there,
But it's also here.
Just to look at more detail, it's on your screen, on your computer in front of you.
So moving along. Okay, so primary goals of the FY 2027 proposed CIP is to finish what we have started, take care of what we have, and to plan for the future.
Do you move it up? Where can they pull the? It's on here.
Should be, it's like in the packaging.
Section 1?
Three.
Just keep scrolling down.
Section 3.
Oh, 3 is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very last.
oh, yeah.
No, it's everything she's trying to.
That's right.
Yeah, that's, so it's closer here.
Okay. we need to-
Sure.
You can go ahead and start, Ms. Hogan.
Okay, so
We've got it on screen. We can go ahead.
again, the primary goals of 2027 proposed CIP is to prioritize projects that generate savings or reduce operating costs. And this tier system comes from the GFOA, and I just recently found it and I actually really like it. So GFOA recommends that when you're planning for your capital, you should do it in this order: must do, must preserve, should do, and nice to do. So obviously, must do and must preserve is, in my opinion, kind of our goal for this coming year. With minimal should do's and nice to do's. This graph is the history of the city of Port Lavaca's annual CIP for the past 5 years. It just kind of gives a good representation of the projects that are tax supported and then projects that are from revenues or internal services.
How do you get caught up? Help me out. What page are you on? Okay,
It's on just scroll down.
Scroll down on the computer.
you know what page?
He's on his own.
Oh,
No,
This is what you mailed out. This is, yes.
Yeah, so,
This is
so,
this. What page are you on here?
I haven't gotten to the book yet.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
right,
well,
that's what I'm
relax.
saying.
Thanks.
Well, I have things on here. It's just me.
He'd send this to you separately.
This budget presentation is also on the website.
It's on the packet if you want it.
So this is just a kind of the fiscal year inflation. I just want to reiterate kind of where we are with the CPI nowadays. As of January 2026, we were sitting at 2.4%. As of May, it has reached 4.2%. So it's increasing. And it's, I mean, as you can see in 2023 and 2022, it was really up there and then it went down. But this is just kind of what I watch.
Tell me the difference between your 2.4, the last bullet here.
So 2.4, all of those are as of January. So every
Right.
single year is as of January. I went and looked to see as of May because I wanted to just show you how much it's increased in the past 5 months. So as of May 2026, we're sitting at 4.2%. So it's jumped already. Percentage.
January is 2.4.
I got to figure out. This is the number I keep on seeing, and that's the number I'm holding on to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's going to continue to increase. So
Do we also look at the gross product, or is that the only thing we look at? See,
no, we look at other things as well. I just wanted to see, municipal cost index as well. I just did this.
But they're,
This is the CIP program 5-year history, and this is based off the type of program, which is streets, drainage, parks, building improvements, equipment, utilities, beach, ports, hot. As you can see, 2026, it was up there. And then we're kind of bringing ourselves back down this proposed year to a reasonable level, but also taking into consideration that last year we were really heavy on those bond projects. These two graphs are for just the proposed 2027 capital budget. So right now, the FY 2027 proposed capital budget is 14.7 million. The graph on the left shows the representation of how much of this 14.7 is grants, general fund, and any of the other associated funds that we have. The graph on the right shows a percentage of that 14.7 million based off the type of project, whether it's streets and drainage, building improvements, equipment, etc. And I will say, as you can see from that graph, a lot of it is grants. 62% of the 14.7 is grants. So we'll get right into it. We're going to start with the hotel occupancy fund. On page 112, you will see the project for gateway signage and landscaping. And I will have Jody, Tanya, present these projects.
I mean, the gateway sign, we've had this on here for what, this is probably our third year.
Third year.
Got it on here. We have made some progress this past year. It kind of got stalled out with our consultant. They had some switch in personnel. And then the activity that TxDOT is doing on 35 at that location was hindering our communication with Tex on the project. We have about maybe about 2.5 months ago, we had another meeting. Again, LJA, our consultant, had a change in their personnel. And those that were newly assigned to the project had some recommendations for some revisions to the original proposal or conceptual proposal that had been put together. You can see it here. Down here, that's kind of a concept that we're currently working with that the visioning committee really liked. That's the direction we're going. Where this is at is we've reached out again to TxDOT. We believe, conceptually, everything in this proposal meets the requirements they had given us as far as size and location. We're trying to get them to verify that with us before we then go spend any more money to actually put together a bid package. So that's kind of where we're at. I last emailed them, it's probably been about 5-6 weeks ago. I have not heard back on this. Again, we weren't really in a rush to really push things along until they got done with their construction at the intersection. It looks like they're very close to being done. Once that is out of the way, then believe me, we will be pushing harder to get this off dead center. But so that's the next, what's left is actually putting the bid package and then going after bids.
Jody, wasn't there like a city slogan that needed to go on there? That was the last thing we were kind of hammering out.
Yeah, we were, I think this one just said, I guess maybe on the other page, but one of them, it says established in 1840.
That was Gateway to the Gulf.
Gateway to the Gulf. Yeah, one of the things that just so you know, one of the things we've been discussing with the visioning committee, and before we would bring this back to council for approval before we actually go out and put this thing out to bids or whatever, or even get to the detailed design. But those that follow the history. The historical slogan for the city of Port Lavaca was the Gateway of the Gulf, way back. And then I think in the 2000s, late 2000s, it started out
Paradise by the Sea or by the
Bay or something like that. There's been some suggesting that we prefer to go back to Gateway to the Gulf, and we would need to make that decision if in fact we were going to put that on this sign. But there was a lot of discussion about putting on here establishing community, because that's significant, showing the historical nature of Port Lavaca. But then whether we want to also put in there Gateway to the Gulf or whatever slogan we want. But with those kind of decisions, we need to make right now. But we were proposing to put the 125,000. Again, this is hot funds, not general funds, with hopes of being able to spend that this coming year.
Is this still going to be in the median of the highway?
Yes, it would be as you're leaving town on 87, it would be to your left, median. And it would kind of be on a little, sitting on a slight angle to where because you'd see it as you're coming in, as you're leaving on 35 and entering on 35. So it's could be seen on all those directions. At one point we were talking about, see here, it says, thank you for visiting. But in reality, there is no view that is exit only. Every view you're coming into the city. So we probably won't say that, there'll be welcoming signs in all directions because there's no clear path where you're only exiting. Yeah.
Does the city own that property?
No, it would be TxDOT and meeting. That's why we have to coordinate with TxDOT and get their approval to do everything. And it's been very slow going.
And then lighting, you have to put lighting.
And then, yes, it would be lit as well. And landscaped. You can see there's some landscape around here. The second item here is we are proposing to include a nominal amount, 25,000 in hotel motel tax dollars, and utilize it for public art or historic and educational signs. If you recall, this year we did get a $9,000 grant for some historical signage downtown. We're in the process of putting that together as we speak and hopefully get those up in the next, within the next 4 to 6 months. But we thought we'd put some money in here to where we can put some more of those type signs and identify some areas for some public art projects. So that's what we've got in there for hotel occupancy tax.
So on to ports and harbors. The first project is the Nautical Landing re-roof.
Yeah.
And this also, I believe this dollar amount also includes a new AC.
Mayor, council, how y'all think?
Good, Jimbo.
And it's on page 115.
15.
115, 115.
Well, most of, okay, on the building. So that building, that roof probably put on there 1984, maybe 1985. It's got some issues, coating breakdown, things along this line. It really needs to. We had talked about putting a coating on, which would carry us down the road maybe 10 years. But the coating's gonna be 30 to 35,000.
What kind of coating?
I can't remember exactly what. It was a Sherwin-Williams product.
Some that last a year and then it blows away.
As long as you followed their, as long as you followed their procedure and cleaning and etching and all that, it probably went quite well. The Calcom building, they put a coating on it. I don't think it was peeling. Problem is, it fades, it started looking real dingy. I think that's why they put it. I did look into this several years ago. Went to Rain King, Victoria. It was $300,000+ for that roof. Last year, Fire Chief Reyes, he had a roof put on the fire station on 35. And I don't remember exactly what the cost was, but it was substantially cheaper than anybody else around. And Joe had the guy call me and he looked at it and he quoted me a price of $140,000. I don't remember the exact numbers. If we wanted galvanum, and I said, no, it's gonna have to be blue. And he said, well, you look at about $10,000 more. So in any case, it's gonna have to have a roof. One of the other things added to this, that building has like 6 air conditioning units. A lot of those units are getting old. We replaced condensing units in the past without spending a lot of money. But with the new gases that are out there now, you can't mix and match these units. You really can't find any of the old type gas condensing units. So I added an additional 15,000 to that, just in case if we had to, replace the system. We added a little extra bit money to the roof. I talked to the guy been about a month and a half ago and asked him what the increases were. And he told me about 10%. So there's a little more money in this than what his actual costs were.
There's no warranty on the existing, no warranty.
On
1985.
1984, 1985.
No.
I had to ask, man.
I think we got a roof board out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Right now. Of course, this guy, he entered all the windstorm. Get a WPIA. Now, one of the things Jody brought up is we would probably need to go, because we're spending over, was it $50,000, Jody? Or 25?
Oh,
It's gotta be,
over 100.
it's gotta be engineered, yeah, so and there may be enough money in there to cover all that stuff. I didn't look very far into that. Yes.
Okay.
Next is public access boardwalk at Smith Harbor on page 116.
Yeah.
This is the CMP grant project.
So. But we hadn't received those funds yet, I don't really have them.
No, but we have signed the contract. We're just in the engineer. Actually, the next step is to get a signed contract for all the engineering.
Okay. Any questions?
This is all grant money, right?
Yeah, that is all grant.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's why I'm not really, because I don't
Yeah.
want to get too involved in this until it's a little bit further down the road, so, yeah.
Is it far away? Like, when
That
we
one's
want?
pretty close, actually.
I mean, yeah, we just got to do the engineering contract and he's got to put the engineering plans together and then we'll go to it.
Bulkheading along north side of Smith Harbor, which is Ports and Harbors Funds, page 117.
Yeah, now that, I think,
Well, we budgeted for that this year, but we haven't got to. It's taken a while.
but, I think, Matt, they've already done all the engineering, haven't they? They hadn't got through yet.
No, I mean, he's working on it. I mean, yeah, he's working on it, but there's still, we got coordination with Lencho and moving the bait sand and stuff, but he is working on it. But yeah, it won't get done this year for sure.
We've talked to Mitchell a couple of times. He kind of knows what's going on. It's supposed to be right in the building. Okay, so the next project is on 118, page 118. That's the railroad culvert project. I know I just talked to Coastal Harbors. I think there's some still waiting on some permitting on that.
But this one specifically is Mont McDonald.
Oh, this one? Okay, so Thompson, I thought they were working.
No, they're doing the shoreline,
Okay,
not, Corporation Ditch is strictly Kevin and Mont McDonald.
okay. But anyway, I guess Thomas, he must be doing something because he told me they're just about through with all the engineering on it, so.
Well, he was talking about for the shoreline, not for this.
This could, actually.
Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas, the other day when he was here, yes.
Yeah, but like I said, Kevin's one doing that.
Do we have some kind of date to when they're gonna get all that back to where the way it was?
Well, the problem right now is that we do not have authority to use grant funds yet for this project. And we were originally we were supposed to have it in April. Then we were supposed to have it July 15th. And I just was told last week that's getting bumped to September 30th. And so once we get the authority to use grant funds, then things can kick off and they can get the design because they have to finish the design. Remember, we have to start over because when we did it before was urban engineering. Well, this is Mont McDonald, although they're trying to coordinate and, maybe save some time talking with urban. But once we get the authority to move forward, we'll go out for bids. We're not going to wait for the rest of Corporation Ditch to do this. This will be independent. So we'll do as quick as we can. But it should be this coming year.
Oh, that's good.
But it'll be more, it'll be more than 375, but it'll be grant funds.
We have the old landfill shoreline restoration, which is also grant funds. Page 119.
I think we're real close to, I think Matt's done, he's through with all the engineering on that.
And he sent us plans. He's working on the bid docket, the bid.
Actually, two parts to this. He's doing one part and both parts on the second part, which
That's a separate
is a
project.
separate project, yeah. Okay, any questions? Oh,
This next project is still subject to grant approval. We have not yet gotten grant approval, but we're still going to
We are applying today.
planning for it still in anticipation.
Yeah, we're budgeting the match because we've got to commit to that.
On page 120, the Harbor Refuge Public Dock Improvement.
So. I don't know if any of y'all been down there a while, but it's kind of a mud hole a lot of time. And so what this will do, this will take, clean up all that public dock area behind the bulkhead. There's a good working surface on there.
What about the area where the shrimp boats are parked right now?
That won't affect it.
I mean, when is that gonna be fixed up? All that's messed up, ain't it?
Which part, the shrimp boats are?
Yeah,
Well, the shrimp boat's fine. It's when you get to the other end, to.
where the dock, where the
Boat
boat,
ramp. You're talking about the boat ramp?
yeah, that area.
I'll talk about that.
That's just, yeah,
Okay.
It's not the next one.
yeah, actually.
So then the next one is the Harbor Refuge, the boat ramp, which is also subject to grant approval.
So that thing's been in bad shape for a long time, and it's finally starting to kind of itself. That's with the help of Wayne and his crew, we've done some patching down there. It's somewhat safe, but not very appealing at all. The plan is, I've been talking, Jody and I both been talking to Matt Glaze with Urban. And there's kind of two parts to this, and I think the other part is a little bit further into this book here, but this particular one we're looking at here is just the bulkheading and the float ramp itself.
We need a different picture.
Yeah, it's not a very good picture. But what we had kind of talked about is leaving the ramp itself. But after kind of looking at it a little closer, the ramp's not very, very good shape. It needs to run back a little further into the bulkheaded area. So it's possible that we'll put a double ramp in there. I don't know yet. And one of the other things about this project, I don't know if anybody who's ever used it, it's pretty high. Your boat's floating, you got about 4 to 5 foot wall there. It's, depending on low tide, high tide, whatever. So he suggested us cut that whole grade down. So it's, about half of that.
You jump
So
your
you
boat.
get in and out of your boat a little more safe and things go on this station. So we plan on applying, on this grant, I think, was it October, Jody?
Yeah, we're gonna try Category Bay Mitigation Trust Grant, and if we don't get that, then we'll look for parks and Rec.
Yeah, we'll look at something else.
Why would you need a double ramp on there?
I think it's as easy to do, put a double one in as it would be to put a single ramp in.
Well, it costs more.
It wouldn't be like twice as much more.
No.
It'd be, while you're doing it.
It would cut back on bulkhead, okay, yes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
It's very
You cut back
popular.
in
It's
this area.
popular. A lot of people
Yeah.
down there and use that. We
Yeah,
use
very-
we use it and.
That by far is our
It's very
best
good.
ramp, if you will. It's our best ramp that's not in very good
It's
condition
very
at all.
costly down there. That
Yeah.
Mates, I mean, that other guy that sell that stuff, that's all just, it's trash.
Yeah, it's
You
awful.
just-
Yeah, there's a lot of people that use that.
And a lot of people. A lot of people just go down there and fish, kids and families do.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're always down there. So I don't think it's very safe either because it's very high up
Yeah.
compared to.
But you gotta remember, that thing, I don't know when it was put in there, probably.
It was a Parks and Wildlife boat ramp.
Cause it was there when I was in high school, when I graduated in '79, but
I think, well,
of course it was a mud hole to get to it, but anyway.
yes.
The next one,
That's it for you, Jim.
but we are gonna talk about these other ones.
No,
This is just,
that's just for 27. I'm just gonna cover 27.
This one, okay, all right. And actually, I will say this. There's kind of a two-part to that boat project. Do the ramp first, and you can hopefully come the following year and do the parking lot itself, some lighting.
there we are. And just, I think I mentioned to council in some of my memos, but we have been trying to communicate with the owner where we've kind of adopted a portion of somebody else's property for parking. And so we're trying to get that legitimate, whether we do a long-term lease or we purchase it from them. We were communicating real well there for a while, and then all of a sudden communication just died. And so we're still working on that.
Been using it long sitting there.
Yeah.
Ms. Hogan, just real quick, what's your plan of attack on the presentation? Are we going to circle back and actually look at the numbers, or is this it, or?
Right now, my main focus is to focus on 2027 projects towards the end of the presentation. If we want to discuss future years, then that's fine.
Just real quick, so just based on that, hold on, Mr. Rudloff. Let's look at page 25 on your book there. Look at page 25. So you guys will see that we're going to actually spend about $450,000 out of the harbor fund. And here's my question, Mr. Rudloff and Jody, is are we staying well above the 125 days of policy and well above the 90 days?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where we're at with those days? And this isn't painting a clear picture for me. So how much do we have in the harbor fund? We're going to spend 450, and then 2.9 million of that's going to be grants. So
I think we have to have 120,000. Is that what you had on
For
that?
ports and harbors, the required is 90 days. At the end of this budget year with operations and capital, they'll have 918 days in fund.
900, okay,
We're waiting
I'm
on.
not worried about that.
okay.
Matter of fact, I was told we need to start spending the money. We don't.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we don't do it, I'll tell you, every time we do a project, and it's
Yeah, we
$1 million+, so we kind of hold on to that money as long as we can. Even the matches are $300,000 and $400,000 in some cases. So, I mean, we need a pretty good chunk of money to even get some of these projects off the ground, so. But
Ports
anyway,
is balance.
Good question.
They are good. Not worried about ports fund balance. There's ample.
we gave us some money back.
I know the general fund, this one's going to take a minute. Is there any other funds we need to discuss this afternoon before we dip into the big ones, which is general fund and public utility? Is there any other, are we going to talk about beach?
Yeah, we are. But I kind of put Wayne last because he's all of those.
Okay. I didn't know this one's going to take a minute.
I put Wayne last because his is the ones that are the most talking points ones. So
Everything falls.
in the beginning should be kind of.
Along with the chief and.
Yeah. No, theirs should be really fast. I put them there at the beginning, so even if they wanted to leave, they could leave. They're busy. But
Maybe just for time for the chiefs.
I can skip to theirs.
Yeah, maybe let's just try to help them out.
Okay, but I do want to actually hit a slide before we do anything, before we discuss general fund. Okay, so. Okay, so the general fund, this is a slide of general fund financial reserve health. Okay. Our policy, our financial policy, the goal reserve, which is our target, is 180 days of operating expenditures. Our required minimum reserve is 120 days of operating expenditures. So as of right now, what I have with the FY 2027 budget, which is assuming no change in taxable values or in the tax rate, we are sitting at 142 days for our
That's
fund
everything
balance.
that's being presented.
Which is everything that we're about to present with general fund.
Not assuming any increase in revenue in property tax.
Yeah, everything is.
Yeah. So, which honestly, we're not anticipating a whole lot more in property tax.
I don't.
Some, but not.
I would assume that we're going to get exactly what we got last year.
So yeah,
Maybe just a tiny bit.
they'll need to be, what's being presented. And if council wanted to get closer to 180, then there'll be some things we'll just need to cut.
So the dollar amount below the goal of 180 days is about 1.2 million, which you can see over on that graph. That's pretty much the grant match and any general fund capital.
Yeah, that's
So we're,
$33,000 a day.
so we're sustaining on operations, we're good. It's the capital projects that are going to make us go below that 180 of the goal reserves. And this is with property tax values staying where they are, no increase to property tax rate. The required 4.
Yes, but how many is 142?
That's probably about 5 or 5-ish.
That's pretty good. We got a lot of projects, a lot of stuff done. I like it.
And again, and I don't think we've mentioned, I mean, they,
Let me just say, okay, I will tell you, I have heard from a lot of cities. I've heard from other businesses that handle local government stuff, and this isn't a new thing to anybody. This is what's happening right now.
It is,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
It's just already-
there's things going on. I mean, everything's costing more.
Everything is costing more,
Our revenues are
not.
stagnant or even declining some.
I mean, we have to think about our big revenues, which are property taxes and sales tax. We have not gotten where we thought we were going to get on sales tax for quite some time now. And actually, with the way the economy is going, I perceive it to be even just a little bit lower than last year's actuals.
And then there's a new state property tax exemption for commercial property.
And that's another one.
They've they've estimated that we will lose about $187,000 of property tax revenue because of that.
It's pretty much a business personal property exemption where they get the first 125,000, I guess, incentive.
Where's the TERS fall into this?
And that's another thing we have with this TERS, it's the first year, so we have no idea how that's going to affect our general fund either.
But now they have projected that the amount of TERS dollars that we will get to be dumped into our TERS account, he's estimating right now like $125,000. But in years past, we've been kind of counting on that or looking to that increase that we get with new property values in our increase. Well, now, I mean, we get 25% of that, but then the other 75 goes into the TERS. So if 75% of it's 125, then that additional is, what is that? Another 20 something thousand. I mean, it's not, we're getting some, it's getting thrown into TERS so we can utilize it for other things. And that's the thing, as we look at CIP, that's one of the things we need to ask ourselves. Well, is this project that we're looking at doing it, is it in TERS? So is it eligible for TERS funds? But we're not proposing to run out there and just, spend all our TERS money as soon as we get it, because we need to let it build up.
When are we gonna have some kind of status on the amount of TERS money that's coming in?
We don't, it's based upon what we actually receive. And so Paul estimated like next
He said in March of 27, he would have a better estimate.
We won't see the effects of that until like 2031. And then after that, it'll just be a residual income, if you will. We won't see that for a few years. And that's it.
I mean, it's gonna be
And then after that, we can bank on it and just see what we're going to fix in the areas that we approved.
Mhm. Yeah. But the main issue that I have that I just want is, what are we comfortable with this year?
And so again, what we're presenting today, what everybody's presenting is currently in what Brittany's presented, provides us with 142 days. And it could be more, because I imagine we're going to get a little bit more taxes, but we don't know that yet.
And I think this is a very, very conservative number.
Worst case, I mean, nothing's changing from last year to today.
We can get back to our goal. And, you've already heard Ms. Hogan talk about the 189,000. So that takes care of that. So we just got to look at the million and how are we going to recoup that, and just projects that we've got in front of us and see what we can do with that. And just also keep in mind that it's conservative. It's extremely conservative. And, just being good stewards as we have in the past. We just want to continue that same conservatism. There was actually a one statement in here, and I wanted to read to you guys. And it's in your packet, and let me see what page it's on, like page 3 or 4. I really want to read this to you, and it just brings everything. It's on page 7. It's the second paragraph. I want to read that to you. City shall consider the revenue requirements necessary to support the debt service obligation and other financial commitments in conjunction with the city's infrastructure, facilities, and service needs. In evaluating total investments, that's what we're doing. The city will strive to maintain a competitive tax rate, which may come to be. We don't know yet, and it's something we may have to visit later on this year about our tax rate. And it's also to preserve the financial flexibility and protect the reserve levels that we just discussed and support economic growth while maintaining the community needs. And that's a key part right there. We want to continue to meet the community needs, and that's what we're doing today. So with that, I thought that paragraph just really hit home with being just resonates while we go through this process, guys. So and it's on us to be good stewards in what we're doing, and go back after this meeting and go back to vote to talk to our constituents and see what they want to do, so that way we can be the true voice of our constituents. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Ms. Hogan.
So I'm going to skip through to go probably to police.
It's page 27.
187.
Okay, police department AC replacement, which would be coming from general fund for 10,500 on page 66.
Or the computer's 39 is what it says.
What page is it in?
66.
66.
This is 39.
My PowerPoint, put on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So, I know that we did a lot of AC replacements this previous year, and kind of just seems like we're continuing to do AC replacements. I can't speak on the PD and AC. I'm not sure what. So
We just had it repaired last week with 85 degrees upstairs consistently here in the admin offices for about 2 weeks straight. So it's done it several times in the past couple of years. It definitely needs to be replaced. It's unbearable to be up there for about an hour and a half before we have to go back downstairs to get spared.
What was the actual repair,
Something to do with the roof had come apart underneath the unit and caused damage to the unit, and they had to patch it over actually on the physical roof of the unit. It's damaged for some of that repair corrosion.
Okay.
What else?
we have the body cameras, which are coming from general fund for 77,688 on page 74.
These body cameras are to replace. There are the ones that we are currently wearing are 3 versions back from this version. They are no longer supported by Motorola. You cannot order parts. You can order the replacements. They are done. So this is the newest version, which means if we get the newest version, by the time these go into service, we're okay. But in a few years, these will be, back also. But that's why we buy the most current, up to date, so they stay as long as they can with service and stuff. But the ones that we have right now, they will not repair them, replace them, or do anything with them. Once they're done, you throw them in a box, send it back to them, and they give you like a $30 credit if you want to buy a brand new.
It comes with rechargeable batteries, kind of rechargeable.
Yes, these, when you dock them, they will download all the video footage into our stands, goes into our computer system. They charge all at the same time. They have the officer identified on them, time, date, all the data, metadata on these. The cameras on them are also a lot better, wider angle, clearer pictures.
Are you guys in like a network to where y'all can talk to each other, like different agencies, and say, hey, I need body cameras. Do you need them? Can we go in and buy a big bulk order and maybe get a discount?
If we're gonna approach it with that.
But I don't know if there's marketplace for government.
The problem being is that, there's about, I would say, four major distributors of cameras. Axon being the top highest dollar one, most expensive, and a lot of larger agencies go to those, so they get those bulk discounts.
Mhm.
Agency of our size is not gonna get the same bulk discount on something like that. These are, we're not, they are top of the line for what this company carries. We're more located.
Okay. All right. If it's an option, tag along with some big city department or whatever, maybe look into it. Thank you.
Then we have the Motorola radios, which is a partial grant. So I believe 50,000 or 27,659 is general fund, and the grant is 50,000. And it's on page 75.
Same thing kind of stands with these radios. The other ones are obsolete due to the end of their life for serviceability. However, the admin vehicles do not currently have in-car radios, which is a bit disheartening. You don't have in-car radios for the admin vehicle, so I will be taking the ones that we replaced with this grant, moving into the admin vehicle. They will do a few more years of service past their lifespan, so that the admin people can have these onboard radios in their vehicle.
And again, our cost is just 27,659 because 50,000 grant.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and the catalytic converter theft prevention, which is also another grant. It's an 80/20. Our portion on general fund would be 30,237, and the grant portion is 120,949 on page 76.
So this project actually seems a little different, unique from what we're actually purchasing. We're getting it under this grant, but it is for mobile data terminals. In the vehicles, we can run driver's licenses, license plates, identify people with warrants. The officers can do their reports, which keeps them in the field even longer. It's connected to our system. It's connected to the sheriff's department system. It's very interoperable with everybody inside the county. This is the way for us to keep guys in the field and more work without having to be in the office. They're going to be more visible, which prevents a lot more of the thefts. They're going to be able to do more work without having to come into the office. And they're going to be out there for that longer.
It's just computers, you're saying? Mounted computers?
It's not just the computers, it is the computers with you have to have pep links, you have to have all this special equipment to make them lock together, and it is additional license plate readers, and it has additional licenses for connection in vehicles, because you have to, any of our desktops that officers log on, you have to buy so many licenses for so many of them.
And how many units is that?
Oh, no, we're not. Every officer's gonna have their own specific computer, but the mounts will be going in the 7 patrol cars.
And again, it's a grant, so I mean, our dollars is just 30,000. Rest of it's grant dollars.
This is that baby step towards AI. This is it.
Oh, the front camera is, you heard about that one? Okay.
Grant and started looking at was flock, but taking into account the reputation of flock and what's happening now, MDT seems like a better fit for us.
Right.
More public friendly too.
Mm-hmm.
And fire. Page 77, we have traffic control equipment, which is coming from the general fund at $100,000. And there is another $100,000 in 2028 as well. So it's just one installment.
Where are you starting off, Joe? Where's his first one going? First round?
The first one's gonna go to intersection here. But
It should
it's
be.
gonna be all 13 intersections we have here inside the, well, we have 12 inside the city limits. We have one in the county, which is Point.
Hmm.
And that's what this offers. If you remember, I'll go back to my budgeting now. I was given 75,000 for 3 years last, the budget bringing down this year and next year. I told you I was gonna go out and ask for grants for balance to replace my air packs. Well, I don't need the air packs anymore because I got all that 75,000 grant money for the air pack. So I'm asking for an extra additional 25,000, keep the 75,000, extra 25,000, make it 100,000 off for the next few years to do this project here. But I'm gonna look out for grants from TechStop. I was told TechStop might get out some other boards. So I was gonna apply for those. And it's easier to do a lot of my grants through the volunteer fire department. So they're not profit. So.
Chief Joe, I did hear you say for repeatedly about the fire department, but this also encompasses the ambulance and PD?
No.
No, sir, we can't attach a device on their vehicle and let them know, hey, we're approaching the intersection?
Police department for an extra $60,000. That's us paying, technically the city paying for the whole thing. I've asked the EMS director, also I asked the sheriff person. They're doing budgets right now. They might get into it, but they don't know how they're gonna do their budgets yet. So I'm like, okay, well.
This isn't just a device that just mounts in the car that just,
Lots of mounts inside the vehicle and also it by, little boxes they have like traffic signals right to replace.
Right.
We have to put equipment in there also too.
Is this equipment good for 20 years or?
It's, I checked, Victoria's been using theirs for 12 years already. So.
Okay.
And I asked him what the maintenance was on it, if we need any maintenance, they said, if somebody hits a box, their insurance should cover it. You know, other than that, it should be had a problem with it all. But
you would think the ambulance service, man, just coming off of Henry Barbara.
A long ways.
Yeah, exactly. The ambulance service, they need it the most.
The reason why we looked at this is also for ISO rating to try to help us out on our response time. Our trucks are big and it's kind of slow, but we just like to see it, get the light green for them so they keep going at speed. They're still going to slow down the intersection because could be someone could not turn their lights red where it's keep ours green. So I told them we're still going to slow down the lights and everything, but at least it gets some kind of traffic cleared up for us a little bit.
Yep. Right.
Then we have the Fire Motorola radios, which is also a grant. The grant total is $727,498, and our match is $34,642 on page 78.
Again, this is something we've applied for.
Yes.
We haven't for sure gotten it yet.
September 30th, we'll know.
Mhm.
September 30th.
Subject.
And these are P45 state interoperable radios that are the APX next generation radios. I think P's trying some of them out right now.
And that's it on fire.
Go back to city.
You want to go now into
City Hall, city manager.
City Hall.
so the Coastal Resiliency Living Shoreline, that is 100% grant, and actually we're almost done with that. We're anticipating not.
It'll be very close to being done by the end of this fiscal year, but it'll still wrap up some into next
So
year.
the 2 million is 100% grant, but that's just something that we're anticipating.
That's I told y'all start looking at for a lot of activity beginning after 4th of July through October.
We'll just pause real quick. Chiefs, I know you guys are busy. If you guys want to stick around, man, I invite you to stick around, but I don't know. Ms. Hogan, do we need?
I don't think they need to stay if they want
Cancel?
to.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, you guys.
They've covered their portions, and I thank you guys for coming. Thank
Oh, wait a minute. If we stay, they have to stay.
Councilman Gary, you know.
Oh, you're good, you're good.
Tanya, do we have anything for the hotel?
No.
For Miss French? I don't think we need anything. You guys are more than welcome to stay, I promise you.
She's gonna hang on.
It's not on here. That's not on here.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
We need a bathroom break. Everybody
Yeah,
get.
we can do that, anytime you guys want, you know, just maybe tell you, we take 5. So we've been at it an hour and a half. You guys want to take a 5?
Sure.
All right, we'll take 5, we'll return. We'll go in recess at 2:36, 5-minute break. DSG cover city secretary.
City Hall.
What page are you on, young lady?
The next
Hey,
part,
I'm gonna ask you, I was running the blower this morning. I was struggling to hear you. I'm sorry.
oh, me?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'll talk louder.
The microphone right there in front of you too. Yeah. Swing that microphone back out there. There you go. That's perfect. No, you're leaning towards that one. That's fine. Yes. Thank you. Thanks. It's me. I think it's me.
The next project is going to be the City Hall security upgrades on page 62. And this is coming from general fund, and the estimated cost for this upcoming year is 300,000.
That's the next phase, which is gonna take care of the south end of the building. Basically code enforcement and permits. Open services. And so then once we have that, then we'll have secured access on north and south.
And then we have the City Hall hurricane shutters, which is
Speak to this, because
Yes, that's, shutters for the main side. Right now, they're the manual type. And they're stripped out and, very, very difficult to go up and down. Actually, I think there's, one of them I couldn't get to go down the last, hurricanes here we had. That would be the cost of getting, electrical ones, kind of like what we have on Virginia side on the storefront windows. A lot easier to use.
Can you just keep them shut all the time?
no, because then you can't get over it.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean.
okay. Then we have the City Hall partial re-roof, and also an AC replacement as well, with the general fund cost of 125,000 on page 65.
I think this is just
That's gonna be to, just a re-roof, it won't be, it's actually just gonna, we'll be stripping it down and, just put another layer on basically as part of it.
roof cover
Roof cover, yes, thank
on
you.
the lower roof, right?
It'll be on the part, when you're gonna be on the Virginia Street side, the lower part.
The part that's kind of darker black
Yeah.
in the picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, the total cost to do the whole roof, for City Hall was a little over 300,000. So that's why we broke it up. That section, we do have more of the leaks on that portion. So that's why we look to take care of that section first. But we do have, then we'll take care of the next section, hopefully next year. And then also covers the cost of replacing the rooftop unit for above the council chamber. That was it's in poor condition.
Then we have the kitchen property, public access to Lavaca Bay. This is also a grant. I believe, but this coming fiscal year, we're going to just budget for the grant portion, and our portion will come in 2028.
We're still, I mean, what the holdup on this is being able to actually purchase property. Anne-Marie is still working on it, but I think she's tired of giving me dates because they keep getting.
This is like
I think I'm guessing based upon what she's been telling me that maybe October-ish, be able to purchase it. And then once we purchase it, then we have the grant has money for us to hire an engineer to put together the preliminary plans and the permitting for the shoreline protection.
We're not in danger of losing the grant because the timeline keeps slipping.
I just keep Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust informed, and they understand what's going on.
We're buying it from 12 siblings or something, or?
Probably more than that. It's been in the family since like 18.
Yeah.
Something. And there, nothing's been probated, and it's been a lot of it.
You doing anything along the shoreline, or it's just the property on top? Or?
No, I mean, if you look at the picture, I mean, we're purchasing the entire track, which some of that's eroded away, but we're proposing to, build, not with this grant money, but we're gonna have an engineer to do apply for an Army Corps permit to build two, rock groins that would help protect the shoreline with the living shoreline. And then if everything works out, then we can apply next June for a GMO Kepler grant. This is a classic, Kepler grant project. If we can get it done in time to apply, I think we have an excellent chance of getting funded. And then, and there's a match to it, but we can then hopefully apply maybe to Medicare Mitigation Trust for the match, But, and there's several grant sources that this would be an excellent candidate for.
Okay, so this is the server replacement. This is a general fund dollars coming for FY 2027 for 60,000. This is a must. You have to, essentially our current server is running on 2016 Windows, which the end of life is January. If we don't replace the server, we will not be supported by our financial system, anything. So we have to replace it. So.
Oh, pretty cheap. 60.
I mean, it's actually the.
Is this VC3?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually 58,000, but I'm just giving a little cushion just in case. No, I don't anticipate it to go up any more than that, to be honest. Okay. Let's skip over to and okay. So the basketball court on page 47. This is coming from general fund at 175,000 for next year. This is actually a rebudget.
You want to explain this?
It's
It's different from ours.
I'm with you. But Jody did send this one out, but I didn't download that one. I didn't download the first one that had that drop link.
You want to explain what we're doing?
Yeah.
Our bids come back 187,000 to 1.4 million.
Wow. But the 187 was not covered.
The $187,000 bid is just basketball courts and a pickleball court. Over. So what we wanted to give you guys the opportunity to discuss is doing the basketball courts without the cover and the pickleball courts and rebudgeting to come back at a later date to put the cover over top of it, because we don't have to have the cover be part of the court slab.
Okay.
It can be independent. So that's the way we're presenting this. So build
the court, but the cover would be independent and done.
How long before the cover?
His budget is for next. We've got
We're trying it for next year.
Okay.
We just, like I said, this year's so tight that we're just.
Yeah.
So was the cover, Wayne, sorry. How much was the cover by itself?
I don't know that we've ever got those numbers back yet. We've been trying to get that.
We've been trying to get them to give us just the separate numbers and we haven't got those.
But I can tell you that, I mean, one quote we got last year had said about 800,000 both, the court and the thing, but we've gotten some others that suggest it was less than that. So,
You understand, when I first put this all together for the CIP last year, I pulled the pricing for this off RSA's. And at that point, steel prices had kind of leveled out. But now steel prices are on the rise again, so we're at the mercy of the market where the building falls in at.
I think right now we penciled in like 300,000 next year, but
For next year.
we should, and that should be pretty darn close, but
So for this year's 175, that's for the.
that'll build it this year. I mean, well, we won't get it done before the end of October, but yeah.
How to build the courts. Everything kind of similar to
What you see the picture, yeah.
It'd be two basketball courts side by side. And then often in a different section of the park would be a pickleball.
Yeah, I have that one in it.
But it's all included in that.
$75,000.
And so the structural will sit on pilings. It won't depend upon a slab.
Next we have the Clement Cove Wetlands Public Shared Use Path, which is grant funds.
It's 48.
Page 48.
And we do have Army Corps clearance they said, go ahead and build it. We didn't have to wait on a permit or anything. So urban engineering is doing just that right now. And the alignment is a little different than what shows on this thing, just so you know. We decided it's going to take off about right in here, cut across the wetlands here. This is old. This is going to cut across the wetlands here with the boardwalk. And then it kind of zigzags a little bit and then goes back into concrete that way. So there's a portion of this is boardwalk, not just concrete.
What is a proposed future snowmobile?
I saw that.
Chat GPT changing my words on my picture.
That's what I would say.
Tell it to enhance the image and it changed the whole thing.
I'll get you a current picture of this because this is the old one.
Okay.
Here it says boardwalk.
Okay.
Chat GPT. Pickleball courts on page 49. We kind of already just discussed this, but this is kind of this image. That's kind of pretty much essentially what it's gonna look like, right?
Yeah.
That many courts? That's
We're
what?
just doing.
I'm just doing.
It's doing one.
Oh.
It's an idea.
In your budget book is the layout.
Yeah.
There's gonna be one, and then in the future, we have two other sites outlined.
Man, those pickleball people, it's almost like they have tournaments and stuff. There's, I don't know, one court's gonna be, that's nice, but is it a whole lot more to have two?
Twice as much.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't think you say mobilizing costs and stuff like that.
Are they playing that at
Twice as much.
the high school?
Yeah, we're utilizing the tennis courts at the high school.
I mean, honestly, I think what we've been discussing is go ahead and get them one, and if in fact people use it and it takes off, then we can go ahead and budget the other two.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have the Bayfront Park entrance rehab. Okay, so this is me and Jody kind of discussed this, and we proposed that, while this was general fund fully, we then kind of discussed that maybe it would make sense for also ports to also chip into this, since they technically also use that entrance. So we're proposing that this current one.
Yeah, that's widening the entrance off of Main Street.
This current year, we would use ports and harbors funds, and then next year in 28, we would do the remaining with general fund.
This year would probably just be the engineering, which isn't going to be that much, and then it'll move over, and then the construction will be next year, which will be the balance of this out of ports and harbors and then general.
Exactly.
Get it engineered so we're ready to go next year.
This is one of those projects that I was just thinking that maybe should be strictly funded out of the port fund.
Why? Because this is because it is an entrance to the park, but we can argue that the port can help us because it's also an entrance to
nautical landings.
Make a bigger argument, take up all of it, 300,000.
Well, we got to get a design first. We get a design.
And the first part of it is the port fund, right? So the first part of it, 27 is going to be the port fund.
Yes.
So we'll start there. So we'll again talk about it in 28,
$150,000,
150,000, which will come out of the general fund.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks.
Then we have the drainage detention pond, which is 100% grant. I believe we're actually splitting this out. Page 45. We're splitting this out a little bit more conservatively. I think in recent years, we put the whole dollar amount. that's not realistic. So we're just going to anticipate spending at least 2 million this coming next year, but it's 100% grant.
Yeah, and this is the project, again, we have not been given authority to use grant funds yet. This is the one that they're telling us it's gonna be September 30th now.
What is that blue line all the way around? Does that mean something?
That is the drainage basin for
Which is actually
corporation.
encompassed.
What drains into the
For
corporation.
that area right there.
It's big.
It does flood a lot around there.
Oh, yeah. And this will alleviate that.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're moving on to streets now. The first is the Western Heights Street Rehab, which is all bond funds. Bond funds are about 1.9 million. I believe we just added for a change order.
I put that in the memo Friday that, you know, after we had our meeting with the citizens, it became aware that there was a sewer line that, yes, there was some incorrect information on some of the maps.
It was cast irons or it was cast?
It wasn't clay. It was clay and it needs to be replaced. And so we've got a price for that, but it didn't get put on today's agenda. So I was gonna go ahead and approve it and just put it as for y'all to ratify it in July, unless somebody's violently opposed to that.
How much was it?
It's like
140 something thousand. But I mean, we've got enough bond funds to pay for it.
Yes, we do have enough bond funds.
Because that project came in under budget even. What we originally
So
had.
you're doing the whole neighborhood or just?
It's just,
It's just that one, just Border
we
Street.
only needed Border Street.
Because that whole neighborhood is clay.
Wayne, that includes Central also?
Clay pipes. Hey,
Yeah, mine, everywhere I live.
yeah.
But you
Just
don't
regular
have
old-
the streets if you still got clay pipe. You
Well, I
gotta
don't think
replace
there's
it.
gonna get anything on it. They did
Someday.
I'm waiting. It might be dead, but I'm still. But yeah, I was say, what
I
area is
understand that
that?
feeling because these are the original streets from the 60s.
Well, this, all I know, the 140 something thousand is for Border.
Because up here,
I mean, for Border.
the ladies in the neighborhood got together and came to the city because they were dirt streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a picture of Joe and David driving.
$800.
But okay, there, now, what about, I mean, that is for Border Street, but what about, Central?
Central,
Pull the manholes on Central and it's PVC.
it's PVC.
Oh, Central.
That's on your side. That's why you counsel.
I'm
That
surprised.
was pipe bursted.
Yeah, see, and I think they thought when they did that, they did
Yeah.
too, and it turns out they didn't.
My records showed that they did Border as well. That's why it wasn't included in the original project. It wasn't until that gentleman brought it up to us in our meeting that I went out and field verified that yes. it is
Because they
correct.
keep popping on that other side of Central Street by the beauty shop and all that.
The water line
The
does.
water line does.
Yeah, that's, the water line's being replaced. The sewer lines have already been replaced.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You said, yeah. Yeah, you said they were.
Okay.
The original town site east of Virginia Street Rehab, which is, we are going to actually use our street construction funds at 100,000.
Just engineer.
For just engineering, yes. So essentially to
What page is that?
page 28. The street construction fund, it's not a part of general fund. That is a special capital fund that was created many years ago. And it's been gaining interest. And it's just I think it has about $338,000 in there. So we just decided rather than hit general fund, let's use some of those street construction funds to ease the burden on general fund.
We're gonna do all those streets for Wayne for 100,000?
Just engineering, just engineering.
Well, I'm reading the description. I'm reading the description and it's talking
You will-
about rehabbing.
We'll have another cost in 28.
Step one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're north of Austin Street, right?
Me? I'm south. I'm south.
Oh, okay, well then, yes, then we are, okay.
Yeah, it's down there. So while there's 100,000 and 27, there'll be more funds in 28, which would include the construction part of it.
But it's all work on the east side of Virginia. I know there's a couple blue lines here on the west side. I don't know what those are, but on the picture, but everything's on the east side. Now, part of center maybe, but not, what is South Wilkes down here? We already did that.
Mhm.
I think that was just misinterpretation of my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I didn't make the maps, I made the spreadsheet.
I took this picture from Katerina's.
Yeah, so that it's not Alice Wilkins. Now, some of that center we probably can because that was not part of the grant project, but Alice Wilkins was. In fact, we got Alice Wilkins. Well, it does at least to Virginia. So it's just the other side of Virginia.
That's District 3?
No, this is your district.
I know, but it says District 3 up there. I was confused.
This is Daniels?
Yeah, that's fine.
This is all District 1.
District
That's
1.
why.
Now, District 3 starts, that's what I'm saying, you're north of Austin Street system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, is it intertwined? Because there's a couple projects.
It starts on,
Austin Street.
I think, Center Street. Where you go.
Because there's a couple blocks.
Is it just two?
Because
Yeah.
District 1 is a couple blocks and then District 3 starts.
Yeah.
And so,
Like the district.
as we look at this in engineering, we may want to go,
I'm having it on here in the book. It says it's District 3 and 1. So I'm wondering
I'm
wondering if she looked on the map and decided like a.
what I said was all the way up to Main Street, Virginia, that area, which was both 3 and 1, which would get that area.
When is that supposed to start?
Well, we're just gonna engineer it,
They're engineers.
so we can come up
On
with, we
it.
can
Get it
design,
done.
and then figure out how much is.
Rolls of bad over.
Then we gotta figure out how we're gonna pay for it.
I will figure that out. Just get it started.
Just
Yeah.
get it going, get it going.
Okay. Then we have the Sanchez and Brook Street rehab, which is also just engineering, coming from street construction funds. This is on page 46. The cost is 50,000.
This is basically like rain, basically to be able to provide drainage to those areas.
Yeah, this is your district.
Because those two
Yeah,
little
that would be
streets
your-
that are on the back.
That's up for me.
North of Mayhem.
We have done some minor reconstruction in there, but it needs serious drainage work. So
Yeah.
Sanchez and Brooks. Never driven down the street.
It's they're little streets like, they used to be like alleys or like.
Oh, yeah.
Behind.
Yeah.
And that Mahan Street, it says here.
Oh, it's GPT. I'm telling you,
That's
let's change my.
Yeah.
Just try to make it clear.
Man.
Yeah, it made.
That's it, but here.
It's Mahan. What's Mahan?
Then we have the Live Oak Street rehab, which is also engineering, page 29, coming from street construction funds as well for 50,000.
And actually, technically, that is not just Live Oak Street, but the Live Oak drainage basin to look at what it's going to take to replace storm sewer that drains. Trunk line is Live Oak, but there's a few places off that. That's what engineering, all that. Again, we have it shelf ready. A grant may come up. We can go do it right away. It's been designed.
Yeah, we got the grant scheduled for 29. So, right, if
We don't have a grant for this yet.
It's stating.
But if we get the design and we know what we're dealing with, we could potentially be in line to get a grant for it. But the first figure
the
out,
grant's a wish for 29.
Yeah.
Essentially.
yeah. I mean, but right now, I don't
it's clear for everybody on my CIP. Anything beyond the next budget year
Mhm.
is a wish.
Yeah.
We can't be concrete pricing. We can't forecast that far ahead.
Yeah.
So it's a wish. Actually, it's placeholder.
It's a placeholder to,
Okay.
And
we
there
don't.
there are a few drainage grants out there, particularly for shelf ready projects. They're easier to get if you're shovel-ready.
Okay, so we're going into the public utility fund.
Well, wait a minute. So we got $100,000 of engineering and then two $50,000 projects for.
Engineering.
Engineering.
So
all
we're not,
engineering.
we're doing no work. We're just engineering
We're
next year.
just doing
Yes.
the engineering.
Yes, no work.
That sounds terrible. I mean, we're
Well,
finishing up
and
our
we're doing
neighborhood.
Western Heights.
Yeah, but that was in this year's budget already.
This year's budget already.
So, I mean, I don't think the citizens gonna be happy we do no work.
Projects they need to finish up and they're just not in.
How does her project carrying over to the next year? That doesn't really affect the budget, right? Because you got those bonds
It's
That's
not going to
okay.
affect general funds budget because we're using bond funds.
Right.
Yeah.
So therein lies the problem. Is general
We
funds.
can't, like, if
We
you,
don't have enough money in the construction dollars to do anything substantial other than let's
engineering.
go get engineering so we're ready when when we do.
How
have-
much is left in the bonds?
As of right now, there's about $500,000.
We're proposing.
That we are proposing to use on a public utilities project.
Okay,
So it's kind of a, what's more,
It's kind of a Tetris type.
what do you want to do? I mean, you have to kind of figure out what's important.
From the engineering, it's bid out to different companies.
We don't bid engineering. We can, most of our street and drainage work, we have been using Civil Core.
Okay.
We don't
that's all
see any
it's saying.
reason to change, but if council wanted to, we could go out for RFPs, RFQs, but you don't bid engineering work. That's against the law.
Services.
In the public utility fund, before we dive in, I just want to let you know, right now, for their fund balance in days, the requirement is 90. Goal is 120, obviously. And as of FY 27, with the capital that we're about to present and operating, we're sitting at 200 days. So the public utility fund is balanced.
Public utility funds, page 87, Wayne.
It's going to start on 87, which is the sewer line replacement along LaSalle and Trinity, which is grant money for 200,000.
And if we were to put it on here. They're finishing up.
That's what I said. I thought that we'd get done, but we may.
All they've got left now is road repair.
This one's done.
It hasn't been paid for yet, then the anticipation
Yeah,
is that
it's
going to.
not, just so you understand, if it's not done by September 30th, we have to rebudget it when the money's gone.
Rebudget.
So that's,
So some of these things, some of these projects like this one, for instance,
may fall off.
it may fall off because it may be done. As of now, we just haven't paid for the remaining.
The only thing you got left to do is just cover it up, oil it and cover it.
Yeah.
It's done. The work is done.
Yeah, we're.
They finished it last week.
This is a grant, so I'm not really.
You still gotta
It's a
do
grant.
the streets, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's road repairs.
But
yeah,
it still may, just like Independence and Alamo, it may stretch for several months before you release retainage.
Yeah, Matt and I still have to do a walkthrough on it. Sure, everything's done right.
They're in your neighborhood now. Today.
oh, that's mine.
No, right. They're done with this. So they should be in your neighborhood
I
today.
didn't see him this afternoon when I left.
This week, they should be some.
There's Mark on street.
Well, I see they're waiting on the change order for me to,
Remaining.
to
Just
get
for
that.
waiting the rest of the materials to come in,
Yeah.
as well as being able to order the pipe for the sewer.
The chocolate bayou, and actually, I think this is another one that could possibly be finished
Yeah.
prior to, so this one might fall off as well. We want to budget for it just in case, I mean, things happen all the time. This is on page 88. And these are public utility fund dollars at 60,000.
That bids when, Wayne? July something.
I think due to the 7th.
So we'll be awarding that at the next council meeting.
So help me with the terminology expended.
Expended means what's been spent as of now,
Okay,
or what, either that or what we're anticipating will be spent as of.
so we only, for 27, well, we're looking at just 60.
Yes. Yeah. But that could be spent.
But if
If the project starts.
yeah, if we get it done this year, it won't need to be rebudgeted for next year.
And that's by September 30th.
I've never been out there. Have you, is it eroding?
Oh, yeah.
Is it, can you drive, can you drive down there and look at it?
It's behind somebody's backyard. Wayne, I don't even know if you can, if you didn't,
Boat.
probably can't just get to that area. It's in somebody's
Yeah.
backyard.
It's on private property, but it's in the waterway. And since it's our water line on a brackish waterway, I have to do something.
Okay.
That's over there past Russell Kane's.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
But then later on, we'll need to replace the pipe, but when we do that, we'll put the pipe, offset it. We're not gonna replace it in place. Because it's an AC line, you know.
On page 89, we have the water line replacement program, which is coming from public utility funds at 239,330. I believe it's from Mildred to Maine or Porter.
Yep, like Rexico, Bucky's back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, except every last street on that side of Rexico.
Yeah, well, Resco.
It runs from
Abrams
87
Mine
to
Shop.
35 and along 87.
It's along 35 too, right? Where the,
That's in another.
oh,
Starts to.
No, that's
right there.
That guy Mickey was asking me about that.
Yeah. But this line, since
next year.
Mexico has all the heavy equipment that runs up and down Mildred, we want to get that AC line replaced because we're tired of doing water repairs back there.
When is that gonna happen?
next year.
Next year.
27.
Is this just engineering or the project actually?
That'll be the project.
Good.
Where are we at in at least trying to get some sewer for those guys on Mildred?
As soon as I got enough money to put it in the lift station.
What's a list of?
It's still on the, I realize it's on the wish list, but we're somewhere in there, they're in the city limits and they don't even have sewer lines.
They have septic tanks?
$1 million plus about $10 million to run the force main.
What's the nearest sewer line? Is it, is Tri-Wholesale on sewer? On
Yeah.
Porter?
There's sewer there, yeah.
Yeah, it's shallow. And
But you can't extend it.
$5 million.
Didn't know Mildred doesn't have sewer.
They,
We have, I don't have my map in front of me, so I can't lie to you. But there's sections of that area that we have to have a lift station just because the sewer line is so shallow, we can't extend it.
you can't extend it.
I just know those residents there, our citizens are using septic. It's just,
But at one point, I don't think they were all citizens, it wasn't.
right, it was annexed, but
Yeah,
it's been annexed.
I think Abram was the only one that wanted to be annexed. I may have it wrong, but
Well, I think you're remembering up where we actually annexed all the way out to the bayou and then de-annexed it because they
Right.
came and
yeah,
requested, because of that reason,
yeah.
because we weren't able to get water sewer out there to them. That was years ago.
We have on page 90, clay sewer line pipe bursting, which is also coming directly from the public utility fund at 360,589. I believe that's in Brook Hollow.
Yeah, but it's not on the road, it's in the
It
back.
runs along the Lens Bayou. I do want everybody to understand this. With pipe bursting, we are on market values. The HDPE pipe fluctuates just like PVC and steel goes up and down. So this is one of those deals, as soon as I can get a hard number bid in, we've got to quickly award it so that we can keep that price. Otherwise, it could go up or down.
Wayne, if I've never seen this before, tell me, what is the process here? What are you exactly doing?
So both ends, they'll make big holes. And then they'll fuse together HDPE pipe. And they pull that pipe with the nose cone on it that acts as a big hammer and it busts everything up as it pulls.
Okay, so you just kind of like, you bust up but reline the pipe same time?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they come in and they dig up, redo all the tabs.
And that's all on the backside of the house.
That's, yes, it's
Over
near,
along
near the
the creek.
creek, yeah.
Here, take some mosquito spray.
It's
You're in line.
It's a very interesting process. I've never seen it.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
And, well, we do it back there. You live on Brook Hollow, you'll hear it.
I'll be at work. It's fine.
Page 99, we are in wastewater treatment plant improvements. This is what we are proposing to use the remaining bond funds on for just the first portion of it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
this,
be the engineering and, I mean, we might be able to get the boom done with that, but the rest of it's gonna have to come in 2028.
Yeah.
But what we're looking at is replacing the partial flume because two reasons. One, it's, what would you say, Jody, 50 years?
The partial flume?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably been there since they put
Their
the,
fiberglass and the bottom's gone. So we're slowly eroding away the concrete that was poured in it. And the measurements are no longer accurate.
I thought we checked it with, that guy Undine, from Undine, what's his name? That engineer is calling you all the time. Doug, yeah. Didn't we check it with an upstream meter?
Yeah, there was a 15% discrepancy. It wasn't that much, but it's enough to be off. And additionally, the other side of that coin is that when that partial flume was installed, the contractors didn't shore it up correctly, so the concrete swelled in the wrong place and made it completely inaccurate. And the only person that had the, in his words, brains to calculate it correctly, no longer in the business. He sold his business and retired.
I think bottom line, I mean, we've got calculations and we're figuring out how to rig it around for what we've got, but it's not what it should be. We really need a new partial flume.
So the 500 is just for the engineering, you said?
It's engineering,
Dang.
possibly some construction.
Well, I mean, what we,
Additionally, this is gonna have finger weirs to replace the gates. Because the gates keep failing on me. I had one fail on me this weekend, so. Guys, they come in on Sunday, it solved it and failed and corrected it. So we don't know how long we had effluent going out untreated or undisinfected. It was treated, it just wasn't disinfected. So this becomes a health safety issue. The gates failing, so the weirs are part of this project too.
but like what we talked about last week though, was they're working to identify about, like we talked about before, but about $5 million worth of work that we have to do since we're not doing the expansion. And most likely we're identifying that, and then we've got to make a decision whether we're going to go out for water development board loan for that over an extended period of time, or just go out for COs and do it quicker.
Even that 5 million from the development board was contingent on TCQ bringing in some new parameters we had to live by, right? Ammonia or whatever.
No, but
That has nothing to do with these projects.
Well, I know that, but the 5 million for all that construction is what it's about.
15.
that was something else.
15 million?
Yeah,
It went up to?
that was to extend the outfall to a different part of the bay so we could remove the copper zinc limits on.
Ammonia they didn't change anything on that.
Yeah, what we're doing at the plant right now, I've removed ammonia completely. We don't have to worry about it.
Well, that was like a huge issue just, what, a month or two ago?
But it was an issue that could have been placed on a permit, and then it would have been a huge issue because then I have no way to treat for it.
Yeah, but when they add stuff to the permit, it's not like a night and day thing, one day to the next. They give you a lot of lead time to get right with your equipment and stuff, right? You would say?
Sometimes, yes. when they put the copper and zinc limits on us, they didn't. They just said, here, you've got these, meet parameters.
But they gave you like a year in advance notice?
You got it in your draft from May, which was 3 months before it went into effect.
Okay. All right.
Bottom line is that what's left in that 2024 bonds, instead of using that for street and drainage, we were using it for utilities. Go towards this $5 million have to for the wastewater treatment plant.
Page one.
Just real quick, Mr. On page 101, there's some stuff there about aeration. I asked Wayne to see if he could look, see about if we can do something with that, even try to pull that up. And that's going to be how Wayne's going to figure out what we can do with this aeration and possibly bring that up sooner than 2028. It's just based on it being critical infrastructure.
Again, that goes back to what Jody was just talking about.
$5 million.
That $5 million.
You're right. The five is right. And I had mentioned that before about the 5 million, how we gotta come up with those funds because this is, if there's anything we need to fix in this city and it continues to be part of the master comprehensive plan, it's the sewer. We need to fix our sewer. So 5 million costs. And it's always going to be there. And Wayne, you've heard me say this before. We need to do this sooner than later. So,
and
I'll bring, soon as
I prioritize the repairs and upgrades to the plant that are necessary for life, health, and safety. And that's why the aeration system is prioritized second on the list, because it doesn't affect life, health, or safety.
But that 5 million only took, I say only, it takes us all the way out to 2031. We just got to do a better.
You're saying to get rid of that smile?
No, what he's got here, he's got it spread out to where we could maybe try to do it catch. But what we're talking about, and that might even jack our rates up even more. But what we're saying, instead of doing that, we can figure all this stuff out and then go ahead and get lunch. And then we be paying debt service.
What is the aeration problem though? I'm not understanding.
Got some corroded aerator
On the header.
Just farters?
Oh, the header.
Okay.
The whole manifold that runs around is, that it's been there since.
All right. So it's not getting delivered to increase DO.
2004, 22 years. This iron's been in a corrosive environment. It failed.
Right. It's just air and water impingement from it's eating the pipe away, so one problem is that the proper amount of air to the aerators isn't there, and you're having to run the compressor.
Are the samples failing? Are they showing low dissolved oxygen?
No.
So then we don't have problems yet.
But because the compressors are continually running to overcome the pressures that you're losing on the impingement.
They always run. They have to continue to supply. They don't start up and shut off.
They're running at max capacity, right? And
they shouldn't have to do that. Right. It's just harder on the equipment because of the holes.
Okay.
From a cost perspective, it's costing us more in the long run because the blowers are running at max capacity. But again, as I said, it's prioritized the way it is because it's not a life, health, or safety issue. People use our base for fishing, for swimming, for recreation. We have to make sure that our effluent is disinfected before we discharge into those bases.
Good. Okay. Something to talk about.
But
it really is.
Well, I would be more than happy to do it all up front.
And you heard Jody already say, that, if we wanted to do it tomorrow, now we're looking at a loan. If we wanted to do it next year, we would have to raise our billing. And you've heard me say the words that whenever I think of raising our the payments to our citizens. Right now, the lowest payment that you're going to make, very, very minimum, is $79.03, 79.03.
It's 80 something, actually.
Talking about the minimum bill?
79.
What?
Water bill?
Oh, no.
No.
It's not.
Trash, the whole
I'm
thing.
telling you, it's 79. I paid off.
The bill's probably like $90.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's 80
'Cause
something.
I'm by myself and I see my bill.
It's not.
We really don't want to increase that.
Well, like I said, we
And
don't.
I always think of the little old lady. That's who I always think of. You know, that who we're squeezing.
Think about me, too. I don't pay no more money.
You're saying you're just putting the most important
Yes.
all out there first.
Yes.
And then we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Hogan.
Page 100, lift station upgrade, the Shellfish. This is coming from public utility funds at 150,000, and I believe this is just for engineering.
Yes. It's engineering to get moving on this project, and the reason this particular lift station is scheduled because we were instructed to work on solving our I&I problem. And this station was identified as one of the culprits because it's not a true bonded wet well. It's just stacked drains.
Okay, it's leaking,
So
what, rainwater in there?
it leaks fighting water.
Yeah.
That and I have to work on it constantly.
The beach fund. As we get into it, yet again, I will tell you that the beach fund is balanced. The requirement for that fund is 90 days. Goal is 120 days. And with the capital and operations, we're sitting at 1,150 days. We're fine.
Wow.
That was another one, goes back to that general fund that we spent 150,000 on that one. Keep on taking money.
So was it a couple of years ago we were losing money at the beach? Have we ever lost?
That's when
I
we,
don't know if it was necessarily losing money. It's just we weren't gaining as much as we were gaining
yeah.
Okay.
prior.
So even with nobody staying there, just the gate fees bringing income,
But again,
making money now?
we don't want to be operating out of our reserves.
Yeah.
We got a lot of reserve, but we want to.
Right, no, I know.
Use reserves to.
I would like to see more people staying there.
There used to be, what happened over there?
Well, we kicked them out. As plant workers, we limited their access, which I voted for, but that was dumb. And
Well,
looking back.
What we are bringing to council in August for consideration, we just had this conversation with the Parks Board, is in the hillside spaces to give them the option. We're still as a 6-month length, but give them the option to have 2 90-day extensions. So feasibly, you could have a year's stay because that seems to be the.
Gotta get something out of it.
That seems to be the key, that people, when they hear they have to leave in 6 months, they don't even come. So if they feasibly could stay a full year, then they'd be more apt to go ahead and come. But we don't want to just say anybody can be for their year. You're there for 6 months, but then you have to apply for another 2 90-day extensions. And as long as our occupancy is still low, we're not having any problems, and they've been a good tenant, we'll approve it.
Yeah, okay, good. But it did kick up some problems with other owners of the RV park.
Yeah.
Like the Browns
That's the
specifically.
big thing.
They felt the city had an unfair advantage on them, which this is capitalism.
I promise you.
Run our business like we need to.
What do you mean? The city had an advantage?
Because they were saying this is a resort and there's no way they could compete. Well, lower your price, do something.
But
Then,
at the same time, they were full. They didn't have no more room. They were full. They were for the max at that time. Not now, but at that time they were full.
So you're on the
Space
side.
available.
How would you say that the city has unfair advantage there?
One location, I am probably the lowest RV park in the city. I'm at 350. My competitor is the city. My competitor. And
Mobile State.
Yeah.
It depends.
How much more can you lower
We can
it?
find out.
I'm the lowest in the city.
How can we be your competitor when ours is not bringing in that much money? You go.
Today is not. Today is not.
Yeah, that's
Our thing is.
Today
you
is
can't
not.
stay forever.
If you change these things, it could be.
I don't agree with that.
Today is not.
I mean,
That's
here's what we're not to either because, no, because we had all those electrical problems with your door.
Oh, yeah. That's when you didn't become a problem.
Yeah.
because
No,
we
that,
are-
well, that's when they came in and complained, right?
Yeah. and
It should be
that's what
cutting
caused
wires.
To lose most of its business.
Because we were.
All of the hillsides were without electricity.
Electricity.
Couldn't.
And then that's when they came in to complain a few months after that because we were competitors.
But it's only like 18 spots. It's not, how many in the whole city? Like,
That's.
how many total in the whole city? Maybe a couple hundred?
We can go on this one all day long, honestly. Let's get back on it. If we could.
On page
Okay.
7.
Oh, yeah.
We have the cabanas at the splash pad, which is coming from the beach fund at $40,000.
And the reason this has been moved back over there is because my bids for those came in at a little around, right around 12,000 apiece. And I only had 15,000 budgeted based on the cost of what we paid when we had the original cabanas built at the beach.
Mhm.
And that is 100% my fault because I didn't pay attention to the market and the price increases on everything, so.
Wayne, these are little package deals, right? These cabanas? Like they come in a kit?
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh,
The one I just built over here, I mean, I thought we got a good deal, really nice, just under $10,000. But most of them have been costing about 12.
Yeah, but we have to be windstorm here.
Well, that's windstorm too. Yeah. Victor did it for windstorm also.
I just wondered in, relevant to the Wilson field, to the basketball and pickleball over there, if we shouldn't put one of these in the meantime, in case that covered roof gets kicked out for 5 years, you know? It's $10,000 on top of what?
We're
100?
we're talking $10,000 for a 12x12.
Which is fine enough for the basketball players to sit down and drink a drink.
Say like on the side of the court.
Yeah, it's a risk.
Yeah.
That's a risk.
And we can look.
I
at
mean, that's a good idea.
Okay, just an idea.
Yeah. Then we have Lighthouse Beach boat ramp improvements, which is on page 108, and it is a grant with Texas Parks and Wildlife.
We have the grant for the engineering, which is what this is. And then once we have the Army Corps permits, engineering and permit. Once we have the Army Corps permit, then we will, apply for construction funding with Parks and Wildlife. And there would be a match, but that's still going to be a couple years down the road. Or we can try Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust if they're still around. There's other avenues, but the first step is to get it engineered and permitted with the Corps.
You didn't need a lot of box out there to keep from silting in so
Correct.
quickly. We need a box.
Yeah, and this project will extend the southern jetty and then rebuild the northern jetty.
So that is FY 2027's capital budget. Discussion on future years, but I mean, I just want to note that all amounts that are shown for the future fiscal years are just preliminary numbers. They could change. They're just estimates as of now. Estimates change every year. But if you guys have any projects that you want to discuss that are happening in 28 and beyond, this is.
Really need to do that.
But
Yeah.
At least we've got it in front of us here where we can actually digest it. So we got 28, 29, even up to 30 and 31 on your spreadsheets. It's just something we can look at in the future on our own. I don't think we need to discuss anything there.
Essentially, what's next after today then is August 17th. We'll have that the special council meeting, which will record the proposed tax rate, and that'll be the all-day budget workshop from 9 a.m. to 4.
August 17th.
Yes. And then September 14th will be the regular council meeting, which will have the public hearings on the budget and the tax rate. We'll approve the capital plan, and that'll also be the first reading on the budget and the tax. And then September 21st will be a special council meeting, and that'll be the second reading on the budget and the tax. So until August 17th. No more budget talk for y'all, I guess.
I think it's July 20th. We've got the workshop on the.
July 20th will be the budget, not budget, workshop on the water and sewer rates. Sorry. From the
Well, as long as you.
UGen,
Who wants to.
did that study for us.
Anything else?
That's the regular 5:30, right?
That is it. I mean, I think that just really think about that general fund financial health. I mean, I would really like to hear back just on what you guys are comfortable with.
Say again?
What you guys are comfortable with
On that 1.2 million.
on that reserve.
Okay.
140.
Short, well, to bring up that number, that 142 days versus the 180.
I'll be on the.
I know you told me that.
1450.
Exactly.
I'm trying
And
to.
the 38, and the 38 converts into the 1.2 million.
Just pretty much all of general funds capital.
Right.
So it's essentially,
There's, any questions, we'll get back into the agenda. Comments from the mayor, council members and city management. Let me go first. And I just lift up Councilwoman Bland Stewart on Juneteenth celebration. That was awesome. That was fun. I know you guys had a Friday night meeting about moving the entire event, moving it from out here at the peninsula out to Bower. I'm pretty sure that was pretty stressful. And whether you guys were making the right decision, I'm telling you, you guys nailed it. Just even if that rain hadn't come in, man, I lift you guys up. That it was just so hot. It was miserable. Man, I was not looking forward to going out to Juneteenth and visiting with anybody. It was just so hot. Unfortunately, we didn't get that many people out at the parade.
Yeah.
Either way, either spectators or even people in the parade, you know, I think we had more people in the parade than spectators, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but that's okay. We didn't need them. We had our statement and.
That's the start. Next
You know, it's a
year, it might
start.
get better.
Yeah, it's a start.
Right.
It's really good, Rose.
It
Thank you
was.
for a lot
I
of
lift you up and I'm sure it was. And, you
Hopefully,
know,
make sure everybody will get to at least come one day or for an hour or whatever.
goodness, you know, I think, city manager said that our biggest event for the hotel
Yeah.
is Juneteenth.
Juneteenth,
You
yeah.
know, that we fill up the hotels with, man, that's what we need to do. And man, I just look so forward to Juneteenth, just seeing all my friends come back into town. So that is just so awesome. So
Thanks to
Thank-
PMI and thanks to the KCs for cooking our fish and PMI barbecue for us. It turned out to be great.
man, you guys had a lot of
Everything
people
is-
at church services.
Oh, we have a lot of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, you guys had a lot of people at the services. So
Yeah.
good job. You guys see that over at Smith Harbor that we're cleaning up over there. As a kid, I don't think it ever looked better. You know, I'm coming up on 67, and that's the best Smith Harbor has ever looked in my whole life. You know, the only thing we could probably got to do is bring back the monkey cages back. You know, I don't know if you guys remember that at the Phillips Station. we got to get the monkey cages back out there.
We own one of those monkeys. My dad bought one of them.
Really?
Really?
Wow, Councilman. That,
We took him home. We couldn't handle him. We got rid of it. That thing was all over the house.
Let him loose with the giraffe.
asks, I mean, during lower tides, there's still something you can see out there
Yes.
because that is an old rock breakwater. We didn't remove the rock. We only removed the old metal.
Right.
So there's still a little rock breakwater out there. If anybody's wondering what's still.
Yeah, I seen it sticking out, yeah.
I hadn't looked at that. That's great.
Anything else? I think me and Councilwoman Pedron talked that it looked like lesser construction is going to be starting in her area real soon. What else is happening in our city? Just make everybody aware.
Jody, right?
Well,
How did that go?
That was excellent. It was
always
really,
excellent.
It's always really.
I know.
Always good.
it was
It's a
perfect
great-
weather. It didn't, the mosquitoes
No
didn't start
mosquitoes.
till like, I think about 9:35.
Once the sun's down,
You know,
when it was
really, really good.
Was it wind blowing out there?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Kept
just
the
a little
mosquitoes down.
breeze, little
Then,
breeze.
talk to, I haven't reached out to Joel Behrens. He sprayed it for us and,
Yes.
and so we got to tell him, thank you for going out there.
Joe works for him.
Yeah.
Really cool beans. Wow, that is cool. And so, man, I love Joel. He's good people. He really is good people. So, wanted to reach out to him if council, if you guys want to just send Joel Behrens a thank you for doing that. And first one we got how many? Five?
8, right?
There's more than that. isn't there? Yeah. It's
The concert.
Oh, well, this Saturday, July 4th, you guys can, anybody's interested, come in your vehicle,
Motorcade.
sign up or not sign up, just line up at the high school. And we're going to have a motorcade to kind of run through the city, led by the sheriff's office, the police department, kind of like the seniors do on
Yeah.
senior day.
Yeah.
Kind of run through the city and we'll end up at Bayfront Park. And then the public's invited to have a picnic or whatever out there. I think Tanya's going to have some music playing or something.
Who's part of this motorcade?
The motorcade.
The Calhoun County Historical Commission is sponsoring that.
We're
And then-
driving around town.
Yeah, and then just have a picnic and then everybody's gonna probably go to Cold Connor.
Yeah, I've got a letter that I received from Senator
Ours?
Cornyn. I'll probably just read that letter
Ours is
there.
great. Yeah.
Two-minute read. 2-minute read.
Read at the Bayfront, you said?
I don't know, and I was, well, Larry Nichols called me this morning on it and he said, maybe you can read it. I said, man, it'd take me 2 minutes to read that. And, we don't expect everybody to get out of their cars, man. I'll probably just pull out that bullhorn and I'll just read the letter just real quick, leave everybody in their cars. Maybe they can roll down the window a little bit, maybe crack open their window. I'll read that letter from Senator Cornyn.
Well, before we leave.
Yeah, I want to just get it over with. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Before we take off, to do that.
Yeah, so we got fireworks Friday, right?
Anyway,
Friday the 3rd.
Yeah.
Fireworks.
They are good.
They're
Do you guys know how much it costs the city?
I know it's a law.
30,000 fireworks. That's pretty good. We get our money back with everybody out there. Man, that place is.
it's nice.
It's
Very nice.
music, the loud music stuff. It's worth 30,000.
I thought that was.
We did treat our employees to a movie.
Oh, yeah, we did that Thursday.
And we,
Yeah.
out of more than half of the employees showed up, maybe.
Well, we had, not employees, we had about 50
Just,
participants, some of their kids and stuff. So maybe a third of the employees with their children.
and we had a safety meeting also for the employees.
Safety luncheon on Friday.
Safety luncheon.
Meeting, luncheon, that's both.
Yeah.
So on driving safety.
Yes.
Which, to tell you, the luncheon that we had, which was our citywide meeting, this will be our first steps to get TML road ready. So a TML representative came down and pretty much spoke to the employees. And then this coming year, we'll be working with her directly to get road ready.
Yes.
Which is a pretty big deal with TML. They'll even come to a council meeting and.
Yeah, basically they shared with us how even just a little fender bender can end up costing millions literally of dollars because it's become the prevalent thing to get your big high dollar attorney come down and represent you with big bad city and it ends up costing literally millions of.
So this agenda item right now that I'm covering, guys, we as a quorum we can't be out talking about city stuff. And this is the opportunity for us to have discussions like this without having a walking quorum. So whenever we come up to this agenda item, if you guys have something where you want to talk to all of us about a city event and things about city, not so much that we would ever have a vote on anything like this, but this is it. Or if a council person is adamant about, we really need to bring this one to the next meeting to vote on, to take an action on, this is the time where you would actually announce. So that way our city manager will put it on the agenda for the next meeting, which is going to be on July the 13th. Just for Mayor Pro Tem, I'll be out of town again next week. I'm going back to Joplin with my brother-in-law passing away. We're going to have a lot of estate stuff, so I'll be out of town again for your information. That's all I have. Anyone else have anything else? Anything?
Yeah, everybody wants to know, when is Bucky's turning into, is it 7-Eleven or what is it?
Valero's and Texas. So you're not going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Dwayne?
I don't have any intention.
My temporary summer worker that I'd hoped so much to hire got hired by Bucky's first.
Your mowers, you said?
My temporary summer worker.
Hmm.
July 27th is their last day.
July 27th.
Oh, okay.
He didn't say who was taking over.
Yeah.
Or when they were taking over.
It's those three vendors, right? And you'll never be wrong by saying, I'm going to Valero's, I'm going 7-Eleven, or I'm going to Texan. So with that, motion to adjourn. So moved. The time 3:48. We're adjourned.
Oh, they got to be Wayne to mow for you. How old do they have to be?